There is a quiet habit that often goes unnoticed, something so small that many people dismiss it without a second thought. You are sitting down, perhaps after a long day, your body finally at rest. Then your dog approaches without urgency, without sound, and gently lowers itself onto your feet. At first, it feels simple. Maybe your dog is just looking for a warm place to rest. Maybe it is random, but when this behavior repeats again and again, in different moments and moods, it begins to carry a deeper meaning, something intentional, something rooted in instinct and emotion. Dogs are deeply social beings. Long before they lived with humans, their ancestors survived through connection. In the wild, physical closeness was not just comfort, it was safety. Members of a group would rest together, leaning into one another, forming a living boundary against uncertainty. To touch another was to belong. When your dog sits on your feet, it is echoing this ancient memory. It is choosing closeness as a way to feel secure, but more importantly, it is choosing you. To your dog, you are not just a person in the same space. You are the center of its world. Your presence represents stability, protection, and familiarity. By placing its body on your feet, your dog is anchoring itself to that presence. It is saying, without words, that it trusts you completely. There is also something remarkably intentional about the location. Your feet are stable. They do not move as much as your hands. They remain grounded, connected to the floor. For your dog, this makes them a reliable point of contact, a place where closeness can be maintained without interruption. But beyond instinct, there is emotion. Dogs are highly sensitive to the energy around them. They can sense when you are calm, when you are tired, when your mind is elsewhere. Sitting on your feet often happens in quiet moments, when your body is still and your attention is not focused on activity. In these moments, your dog is not seeking play or stimulation. It is seeking connection, a calm, steady connection that requires nothing from you except your presence. There is also a subtle form of communication in this behavior. Dogs do not speak in words, but they are constantly expressing themselves. Sitting on your feet can be a quiet way of saying that they want to be near you without interrupting you. It is a low-energy request for closeness, almost like a silent conversation. For some dogs, this behavior carries an additional layer of meaning. It can reflect a protective instinct. By staying in direct contact with you, your dog is aware of your movements. It can sense any change instantly. This allows it to remain alert while still being calm. This is not protection in an aggressive sense. It is not about guarding or reacting. It is about presence. A quiet readiness, a sense that it is there with you, sharing the same space, aware of the same environment. There is also a biological aspect to consider. Physical contact releases calming signals in a dog's body. It reduces tension and creates a sense of safety. When your dog sits on your feet, it is not only expressing trust, it is also regulating its own emotional state. Over time, this behavior becomes associated with comfort. Your dog learns that being close to you, in this specific way, leads to a feeling of calm. It becomes a habit, not because it is taught, but because it feels right. And yet, even with all these layers, there is still something more. Because sometimes, this behavior is not only about safety or comfort. Sometimes, it reflects how your dog sees its role in your life, and how deeply it connects its world to yours. As this quiet behavior continues to appear in daily life, it begins to reveal something more complex than simple comfort. The act of sitting on your feet is not always the same from one dog to another. Beneath the surface, there are subtle differences that reflect personality, emotional needs, and the depth of attachment your dog feels toward you. For some dogs, this behavior is a sign of strong and healthy bonding. It shows that they feel safe, relaxed, and connected. They choose to be near you not because they need constant reassurance, but because they enjoy your presence. In these cases, the contact is gentle, natural, and easy. Your dog may sit on your feet for a while, then move away without hesitation, confident that the connection remains even without physical closeness. But for other dogs, the meaning can shift slightly. The same action may reflect a deeper reliance on your presence. These dogs may follow you closely, rarely settling far away. When they sit on your feet, it is not only about comfort, it is about maintaining a constant link, a way of ensuring that you are always within reach. This is where the line between attachment and dependence begins to appear. Dogs that lean toward dependence often show small but noticeable patterns. They may become alert whenever you move, watching carefully as if anticipating your next action. They may hesitate to rest unless they are physically close to you. Sitting on your feet becomes more than a preference. It becomes a need. This does not mean something is wrong. It simply reflects a heightened sensitivity to presence and absence. For these dogs, your proximity is directly tied to their sense of calm. The closer they are, the more balanced they feel. There is also a learning process that reinforces this behavior over time. Each moment of closeness creates a positive emotional experience. The warmth, the stillness, the shared space, all of these elements combine into a feeling of safety. Your dog remembers this feeling. As the behavior repeats, it becomes familiar, and what is familiar becomes preferred. Sitting on your feet turns into a reliable way to recreate that calm state again and again.
Who's a good
Another
dog?
important factor is routine. Dogs are highly attuned to patterns. If sitting on your feet has become part of certain moments, such as when you are resting or sitting quietly, your dog will begin to expect it. The behavior becomes woven into the rhythm of daily life. There is also a subtle aspect of positioning. By sitting on your feet, your dog places itself in a space that is both close and central. It is not behind you or far away. It is directly connected to you, in a position where it can feel your movements and remain aware of your presence at all times. This positioning can also carry a sense of quiet control. Not control in a dominant way, but in a stabilizing way. Your dog is choosing a place where it can monitor the environment while staying connected to you. It creates a small zone of certainty in an
Who's a
otherwise
good
changing
boy?
space. Personality
like
plays
that,
a significant role
Yes,
as well.
you do.
Some dogs are naturally more independent. They may enjoy closeness, but they do not require it constantly. When they sit on your feet, it is a moment of choice, not necessity. Other dogs are more emotionally driven. They seek connection more frequently, more intensely. For them, physical contact is a primary way of expressing and maintaining the bond. Sitting on your feet becomes one of their preferred ways to stay close. Your own behavior also shapes this pattern. Even small responses can have an effect. If you gently acknowledge your dog, speak to it, or allow it to remain there comfortably, you reinforce the sense that this behavior is welcome and safe. Over time, your dog learns not just the action, but the meaning behind it. It understands that this is a space where connection is allowed, where closeness is shared without interruption. What makes this behavior so powerful is its simplicity. There is no demand, no urgency, no noise, just quiet contact. A steady reminder that your dog chooses to be near you, again and again, without needing a reason. And yet, even with all these layers of attachment and learning, there is still one more dimension to understand. Because sometimes, this behavior is not only about what your dog feels, it is also about what your dog senses within you, and how it responds to that invisible emotional landscape. There is a final layer to this quiet behavior that often goes unnoticed. Yet it may be the most meaningful of all. When your dog sits on your feet, it is not only expressing what it feels, it is also responding to what it senses within you. Dogs live in a world shaped by subtle signals. They do not rely on words or complex reasoning. Instead, they observe tone, movement, stillness, and energy. They notice changes that most people overlook. A slight shift in posture, a slower breath, a moment of silence. All of these details carry meaning to your dog. When you sit down and become still, your dog recognizes that shift immediately. The environment becomes quieter, your body becomes more relaxed, or sometimes more burdened. In these moments, your dog moves closer, not out of habit alone, but out of awareness. By sitting on your feet, your dog creates a direct connection. It can feel your presence more clearly. It can sense your movements and your stillness at the same time. This physical contact allows your dog to stay aligned with your emotional state. There is a form of silent communication happening here. Your dog is not asking questions, yet it is constantly receiving answers. It reads your condition and adjusts its behavior accordingly. If you are calm, it settles. If you are tense, it becomes more attentive. In many ways, your dog is not just seeking comfort, it is offering it. The warmth of its body, the steady pressure on your feet, the quiet presence beside you.
Look who
These
decided
small
to join
details
us.
can have a grounding effect. Even if you are not
He's
consciously
comfortable
aware of
right
it,
there on your
your
feet.
body responds. Your breathing may slow, your thoughts may soften. The connection becomes mutual. This is one of the most remarkable aspects of the bond between humans and dogs. It is not one-sided, it is shared. Both of you influence each other in ways that are subtle yet powerful. For your dog, being close to you is a way of maintaining balance. For you, that same closeness can create a sense of calm. Without words, without effort, a quiet exchange takes place. There is also a deep sense of trust embedded in this behavior. Your dog feels safe enough to remain still, to rest, to lower its guard while staying in contact with you. This level of comfort does not appear instantly. It is built over time through repeated experiences of safety and care. At the same time, your dog does not analyze this behavior. It does not question whether it should sit on your feet or not. It simply follows what feels right, what feels natural, what feels connected. This simplicity is what makes the behavior so genuine. There is no hidden intention, no complexity beyond the bond itself. Just a quiet decision to stay close. And yet, this simple act carries a powerful message. Your dog sees you as more than a provider, more than a companion. You are a point of stability in its world, a presence it returns to again and again, not out of obligation, but out of trust. When it chooses to sit on your feet, it is choosing connection over distance. It is choosing presence over separation. It is choosing you. In a world filled with noise and constant movement, this small, silent gesture becomes something meaningful. A reminder that connection does not always need to be loud or visible. Sometimes, it is found in the quietest moments. A dog resting gently on your feet, sharing space, sharing stillness, sharing a bond that does not need to be explained.